Something over there. With you. Back up, Phoenix! Approach.
This weather is miserable. It is almost as though the gods have a god like
Ours is the man. He'll set you up.
trying to give me a reason to shoot you.
Relax, brat. The worst that can happen is that you'll get shot.
You want Praxis, eh?
That might be it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bye. You want any?
I'll be on.
Eh?
Relax, brat. The worst that can happen is that you'll get shot. Biocells, painkiller.
Right over there.
This isn't happening.
bezpečnost byl vyhlášen zákaz vycházení. Je zakázáno zdržovat se na ulici.
Biocells, painkillers.
You want? Yes.
I have every...
That's
Don't press it.
Nothing?
Access granted.
Things I do for the beaches.
I don't know where she is. All I know is she called you and not me.
Access granted. Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access denied.
This is Eliza Kassan, reporting to you live from Picus. Picus global leader in CEO Nathaniel.
Events inside the Ultimate complex always scheduled on its own. Believe in the absolute necessity to create safe and secure environments for all participants. No one needs to imagine what might have happened if state police had not moved swiftly to prevent riots from spreading.
Kakaganon terjebakna na ulici. Opak Sana prihazeni na ulici. Jedná se o dočasné pořádkové
What are you doing here? It's after curfew. It's dangerous.
Serial killers are dangerous. Curfews are just inconvenient.
I beg your pardon?
Daria Mishka. Ring a bell?
I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to divulge anyone's personal information.
We both know why I'm here. We can take the scenic route if you want, but if something happens to her because you felt the need to bullshit me...
Just tell the lawyers I'm doing the best I can here. If they were going to send someone, they should have told me. We could have coordinated.
The lawyers, huh? You really need to start filling in the blanks. What was your involvement with Daria? Why did you need her to meet you here?
used to know Daria. She was a patient of mine.
Your patient? You mean here at the drugstore?
No, of course not. Before that, when I used to work for Taeyong Medical, big tech corporation. You know it?
Enough to know I don't like where this is going.
I headed a project, the cutting edge of neural science and cellular memory replacement. We dealt with people suffering from severe social disorders. We were making people better by making them better people.
How exactly did you make people better?
We found a way to isolate specific character traits. The idea was to use neural implants with imprints of desirable traits from select individuals and insert them into others who were, how should I say, less gifted. Take a man like yourself, for example. Could have given you a sense of humor.
I'm funny enough as it is. Now how about you tell me what went wrong? Something obviously did.
We were trying to help people. Imagine what it would mean if we succeeded. Anxiety, gone. Apathy, gone. Depression, gone.
Diversity gone, spontaneity gone, individuality gone. But you probably left that part out of your sales pitch.
Daria is responsible for what Daria does. The only reason Taeyong forced me to get involved is because so much is at stake for them. Big brand name to protect. I've met their lawyers, men whose briefcases are filled with broken teeth. You must understand.
I guess I'll just forward that email you wrote to her to the police. Or maybe straight to the media. We'll let them make sense of your involvement in all this.
You sure you don't work for Taeyong Medical? That's exactly what they said. I would be made the center of a show trial if it came to light.
If what came to light?
My job was to address people's deficiencies by integrating donor personality packages. That meant we needed lots of confident volunteers to donate time to our project. As you can imagine, people weren't exactly lining up to have a scrape inside their heads. So Taeyong had to diversify.
Once again, not sure I like where this is going.
Taeyong Medical cut a deal with various penitentiaries. Prisoners who took part in our programs, they got granted little perks, bigger cells, running water. The prisons, they benefited from facility upgrades. It was a win-win.
You implanted the personality traits of prisoners into the mentally unstable? Smart. Let me take a wild guess. Daria's donor was Marek Svobotka, better known as the Harvester.
Donor number 698843. All I saw, all I was given, was a series of test scores that showed a perfect match. Everything she was missing, he had. Nothing else mattered at the time.
An innocent woman's been turned into a vicious killer, in large part because of a procedure you carried out. I'd say that matters.
Daria wasn't turned into anything. She willingly participated in a procedure. Now she is willingly killing people. You may choose to see a causal relationship between those two things, but let me assure you, it's more complicated.
Save it for the lawyers. What I need to know is how to stop her.
All right. Look. We obviously want the same thing here. Daria has a neural chip installed just above the hairline. She won't let you get anywhere near it. So if you're serious about putting an end to this, you'll have to, you know,
What, kill her?
that would be my preference, yes. Or I suppose you could just incapacitate her, but then you run the risk of having her wake up. Not a risk I would take personally.
There must be another way. Something that doesn't involve attacking her.
I wish I could help you. Unless you're willing to meet violence with violence, Daria's not a victim. Chip or no chip, she is behind this, and she will try to attack you no matter what you do.
I don't think Daria's as responsible as you make her out to be. Taking her out and removing the chip is great for you. Gets rid of any evidence that might link her actions to your bungled experiment. But there's no way it's my only option. And there's no way Tai Young Medical would develop a sensitive technology like this without some kind of failsafe. I know you're holding something back.
Like what?
A weakness, an override. Something that allows me to talk to her without the influence of whatever it is you install.
Well, there is an override phrase. Daria has been programmed to react to it with specific subconscious impulses that are designed to trigger a shutdown of the chip.
Why wouldn't you tell me that in the first place?
Because I knew you would overestimate what it could do. You're a fool if you think you can just walk up to a killer and say a magic word. It won't undo what she's become. The decision to act on Svobodka's memories, to repeat them, that was all Daria. Simply shutting down the chip at this point will not be sufficient.
That's for me to decide. What's the override phrase?
Ad hominem 2026. But I warn you, do not turn your back on her. And do not underestimate her responsibility in all of this. We all have terrible nightmares. We all have visions of sick and terrible things we could do. But we don't all act on them. You must be careful around her.
Oh, thank God. I knew you'd find me. We must hurry before he comes back.
Before who comes back? The man who killed Angela Gunn?
Yes. He knows you're after him. He wanted you to come.
So where is he?
He's everywhere. Can you not feel his presence? Are you not scared?
Why did he bring you here? What does he want?
He's using me to get to you. He thinks that by removing your augmentations, he can make you whole again. Quickly, come closer. Help me to get out, and then deal with him. Please, I beg you.
You can drop the act, Daria. I know what's going on here. I know there's no one else out there. I ran into an old friend of yours. The name Cipra mean anything to you?
You mean Dr. Cipra? Where did you dig him up?
He's worried about you.
He's worried about himself. He's worried about Tai Yong Medical. They're willing to kill to cover things up, to preserve their precious image. Their reasons are savage compared to mine.
I don't believe this is who you are. Something changed in you after Cipra's surgery. Made you do things you would never have done otherwise, for reasons that aren't your own. But it's not too late.
Don't be so naive. I am who I've always been. Cipra's surgery, all it did was give me access to another man's technique, his courage to follow through.
I can still help you. Absit Omen 3029.
Is that how machines pray? No divinity can answer you. You are no longer human. That is why you need me. Admit it. Deep down, you knew what I was, what I offered. You sought me out because you wanted to be saved.
You think you're saving people by killing them?
Can you not feel it? The weight of your transgressions pressing down on your soul. I know what it's like.
You need help, Daria.
You're the one who needs help. Don't you understand that? I can make you human again. I have to make you human again. It's not too late. You need not die, machine.
Chang, you able to see my coordinates?
Give me a sec. What's this about?
There's a body down here. An unconscious woman named Daria. She was involved in those harvester killings. She needs to be taken in. There's also a cop named Montag looking for me.
Jesus, Jensen! What is it you think I do. I'm cyber crimes, remember?
I'm asking because I trust you. Got enough to worry about with the curfew.
All right, but do me a favor and get out of there, and don't mention this to anyone, not even me. Chang's got this.
Find them. We'll just wait it out in here. Then in the morning we'll go for it.
I don't know where she is. All I know is she called you.
Stay away from me! Help! 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 Fucking
Adam, good. We need to talk, son.
What's going on, Seraph? Why the secure vidcall number?
I looked into Facility 451. It was a processing clinic, one of dozens set up after the incident to help augmented people recover. It was supposed to be places to heal, but they were run more like prison camps.
And?
And I don't think you got your new augs there. You said rescue teams dumped you in that clinic shortly after Pangaea collapsed, but your name doesn't appear on its entry logs. And it doesn't appear on any survivor recovery lists either.
They said I was a John Doe. Nobody knew who I was.
It wouldn't have been hard to find out. Your augmentations have serial numbers. Or at least the ones I had installed into Adam Jensen did.
Why are you so sure I didn't get these hogs in Alaska? Orloff was there. I spoke with him.
You said he was using an alias, McFadden. I looked into it. Casper McFadden didn't exist until the day you regained consciousness, which was 1 month before you escaped the facility.
Okay, so where was Orloff?
Not in Alaska. He was with Tai Young Medical for a while, and in the spring of 2028, his name pops up once or twice in the Baltic region. Then he dropped off the grid, and McFadden shows up.
So what does that prove? Orloff is McFadden, and McFadden is Orloff. None of it connects him to me.
Except for the AUGs which Orloff designed and nobody else knows how to install, let alone make compatible with a competing system.
Are you suggesting all my AUGs are new? Even the ones you gave me?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm telling you, all the AUGs we ever installed had registry codes, and they're not hard to trace.
I know my AUGs, Seraph. It took 2 years for my body to get used to them, to unlock all their potential.
2 years? Really, Adam? One of which you don't remember because you were allegedly in a coma in Alaska. Look, son, all I'm saying is it wouldn't have been hard to identify you, but for some reason, that never happened.
What are you trying to tell me, Seraph?
I'm sorry, Adam. There's not much more I can say. There's some conclusions you have to make for yourself. All I know is the deeper I dig, the more questions I have. Orloff might have had answers, but as soon as you found out he was in Prague, that he'd been visiting Prague periodically ever since you started working with TF-29's division there, somebody killed him. You tell me what it all means.
I can't. Not yet.
Well, if you ever do find out, give me a call. Until then, take care of yourself, Adam. Be careful.
Thanks for the help, Seraph.
What?
you.
Milena, you didn't take my advice about giving up on forgery.
I know. But trouble is, I've got a talent for it.
The permits aren't enough for police anymore, forged or real.
In Prague, maybe. But it turns out I'm multilingual when it comes to falsifying border passes. Lucky, right?
Never works, I'd say lucky.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Super Commando Man.
Oh, don't mention it, Milena.
If there was an easier option, you think we wouldn't take it? I was less stressed out when I was working at gunpoint.
We may not agree on your methods, but I'll let you get back to your work.
Coming from you, that is like the gold star seal of approval.
Have you come to help us? It is you again.
Tall, dark, and... Welcome to the Underground. I owe you an apology for hacking your infolink.
Yeah, it's a sore point after what happened a couple of years ago. Maybe you saw the news.
Please understand, it was the biggest risk I could take. All Samizdat's communications are bugged. The police raided the offices last night, cleared us out. We were broadcasting until they pulled the plug. Radios, flyers, mail bursts, the makeshift media van, getting the message out to our subscribers if they needed a refuge. As you can see, it went a little wider than we anticipated.
What happened to Kay?
Kay is me now, according to the Samizdat Manifesto. It's all very third-wave socialist with a dash of martyr complex.
Good to know. But I mean, what physically happened to him?
Right. His name is Yarek. Yarek Drobny. He's being held by the police along with Bones. No contact, no bail, no rights. Plausible deniability.
He must have known the risks.
Well, he was open to the existence of risks. When you showed up, it should have been a wake-up call, but you were reasonable. The state isn't reasonable.
This isn't what I call laying low. Aren't you afraid the police will find you again?
They already got the K. Bones, the backup servers, even the shitty coffee machine. Enough for them to call it a win and get back to indiscriminate brutality on the streets.
Where were you when this happened?
Right here. Running our little home away from home. Our sources tipped up...
Yeah, when we first met, I called you pamphleteers.
Oh no, we were pamphleteers. Now we're pamphleteers, jury rigging, and underground.
So are you running a resistance cell here or a campaign room?
Why not both? Now Samizdat has a captive voter base we could run for the Senate.
It's organized resistance then.
Peaceful resistance. We're working together to get people under the cordon and out of Prague. It's a happy accident of a police state. Well, I say happy when everyone's repressed, they can see past their prejudices.
Or they shift the blame. It's gonna take a long time for those prejudices to heal.
As long as certain people can profit from keeping the wounds fresh. But you knew that already.
I'm pretty sure you didn't call me to put up posters. What's the deal?
We've made a plan. We're getting people out of the city, starting first thing tomorrow. I want Yarek and Bones to go with them, but first, we need to bust them out of jail. Tonight.
And you think I'm the kind of guy who breaks into police stations?
Are you telling me you're not?
Fine, I'll get them out. They're being held in the temporary police station downtown?
Yes, by the Monument Metro. Once you're clear, takes them across the plaza to the Uneda cleaners. We've cached everything they need for a long road trip along the old NATO decommissioning zone.
That's your escape route? Puts getting them past the state police into perspective.
It works on paper. And gives them these new identity documents, a lot of new identities. We found a very good forger. We're keeping her from a bright future in a Pika's newsroom.
It is you, again.
Too many people. We'll have to borrow more trucks. Can we get back into the city trash depot tonight?
We have already taken so many. Maybe we should...